Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
How's it going?
I'm doing
Going
great.
good, yeah.
What's new with folks? What's alive?
Well, I'm working on some coding. Well, I got a project I'm working on right now, which I'm really excited about. And I got a lot of some of the framework, but I'm really just trying to find out find all those little details I can work on to really just enhance this and really make it really clear for me and anybody else that comes across my code across the interwebs.
Yes. Let's talk about that more in a second. You've got some code for us that you're working on that you want to explore with us today, and let's explore that in just a second. How are you doing, Semii?
I'm doing good. I've just been exploring HTML forms. Excited to explore it with you and everybody else in the audience.
Yeah, it's been exciting exploring the HTML forms. So if you all remember from last week, we explored them in some basic ways. Does anyone want to summarize for the audience last time what we did?
I could do that. Last time we set up a email form so that customers that might be able to visit your website can contact you using Form Submit API.
Yeah, and that really has given us the ability in doing it to get going fast. Last week, we were literally able to make the form and then receive it in our email right away. So we'll be doing more of that today. And Owen, do you want to talk just a little bit before we get to announcements about what the motivation for your project is and what inspired this project?
Absolutely. So I have been working as a rideshare driver for part-time and I started part-time and I've been doing it full-time for the last almost 2 years now. And I found that just like in this sort of gig economy climate that we find ourselves in this moment, um, um, it's really critical that we understand for survival and just like making sure our time is being used valuably and like sort of efficiently. It's critical to have sort of a monetary framework of um, understanding what money you have to use for your work expenses versus what you actually have for your personal, like what sort of profit you have for your personal life. So I wanted to make a tool that would help folks think about think about those spaces, those professional spaces in a way that's efficient and helps sort of categorize these all these numbers that are thrown at us.
So yeah, you've got these numbers and you're trying to organize them.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, what we're going to be doing is building forms, and we're going to be exploring some of the basics of Owen's idea and checking in with that a little bit. And we'll also be making a new form, and then we'll be exploring different styles with it and also your ideas. So should we, Semii, do you want to take announcements or should I take announcements?
I could take announcements.
Okay, cool.
So this Thursday or every Thursday, we do a coding lab where everybody can come in, get help with your code, and just be in community with other beginner programmers. On every Sunday, we do a human rights live stream. And we also have another live stream every Monday, I believe.
It's so I'll say a little bit about that. So actually, this Wednesday we'll be doing the live stream for human rights, so it'll be a little bit different. And this Sunday we have just a morning human rights group that's just drop in. And so I put in the chat here. I put in the coding lab, which is on Thursday, and tomorrow. I'll share the live stream for tomorrow too, which is reachable, by the way, for like Twitch, for instance. It's the same link on Twitch. And also we have additionally, let me put this in right now. We also have the human rights lab, and I'm just putting that in the chat too. So there's a lot of different things you can work on, and also just so folks know, Code Whatever is a 501c3. Many of us are volunteering in this work and not making any money doing it. We do it out of the love of our hearts, but we do this work mostly by donation. So if you feel called, for instance, if you go to our website, codewhatever.us, and you can go to codewhatever.us. You can go and see our GoFundMe. If you go to our website, this is our website, codewhatever.us. You can get to our GoFundMe right there. Feel free to consider a donation. All donations are tax deductible in the United States. And are there any other announcements we want to explore? I think that's pretty good, right? Yeah. So without further ado, Semii, do you want to get us started in form making?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, take it away.
Here we go.
Wonderful.
All right, so I just want to start off by showing everybody a basic preview of what we're doing tonight. What does everybody notice here?
I noticed at the top it says contact form. Go ahead, Owen.
And I'm noticing several, on the second box, several form boxes. And presumably they're going to be used for different purposes. I also see test.
Nice. And Beaei, you broke up a bit back there.
Oh, I said I just noticed that the heading says contact form.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm hearing we have several boxes. I'm hearing that the heading says contact form. So going back over to the code. I just have a little bit of code here. What does everybody notice here?
Let me try to make it a little bigger for myself.
iPad. We do this every week, don't we?
Yeah.
You can't say we're not consistent.
How's this?
Well, I'm going to add to the inconsistency, and I just made a little note about it.
Well, I noticed a boilerplate. I think I'm using that word correctly for HTML, like a basic one. Basically, a template of what you might build any HTML like web page off of and from.
Yeah, what about it says to you might build? How do you know that you might build any web page from it?
So I know HTML is the web page language. I'm also seeing sort of contextual things like I'm seeing the form, right? We're seeing tags and these with these little greater than and less than signs that are framing each of the text. That's assigned to me. That is HTML language.
Yeah, so you see different things that are familiar to you for HTML.
That's right.
All right, and if I come up here, just change this to contact form page. Here we go. Now you see up here, document. And I hit the refresh button. What do we notice now?
So I'm noticing changes. I'm seeing that you wrote in contact form page as a title. And I'm excited to see what it'll bring up on the web page.
Oh, up here.
Oh, and it doesn't have anything.
Yeah. But if I change it again, did you notice with the tab up here?
Oh, okay. So I'm seeing that it's not actually on the actual page. It's on the tab. The title of the tab is changed, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. All the little things that bring together like a web page and like just like an experience for the user or customer or whoever will be needing to use this, or yourself.
Yeah, it's here for a purpose for the people who are helping.
Yeah. So I'm gonna come down to the body and just gonna add the same text in between here. What do we notice here? What I'm doing.
Okay, so I'm seeing you write contact form again, and you have two tags, H1, which I know it means heading 1. So I'm anticipating to see on the web page a big font in bold that says contact form page right on the top as text.
Right. And just coming over here. Sorry, I hit this part.
The reveal. I love it.
And I can get rid of the form and notice.
Oh, it's immediate. You didn't even have to refresh?
No. I'm using the plugin down here for what's it called? VS Code.
Ooh, let me go make a note of that.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna really quickly add in one of these. And do you notice, what do you notice after I hit refresh?
I'm not sure I noticed anything. I think
Yeah, I
maybe
didn't. Oh, sorry to talk. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
there might have been there might be a bigger increase between the contact page and like there might have been like it might have gone further down the page, but I think I might just be projecting
what happens?
that.
What happens if we get rid of the divs and refresh again?
Oh.
And it did refresh, but
Okay, so I'm not seeing any change. So I'm wondering what is up with divs? What are they doing? Because everything, like we said earlier, every piece of code matters. Every piece of code is doing something, has some sort of job.
so we want to know what's up with divs and why do they matter?
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna come over here. I'm gonna put the divs back. But, you know, I'm not gonna do that for now. And I'm gonna add in another div. Do you notice anything there? You notice any changes?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna add in So what do you notice here?
Okay, so now I'm seeing another heading 1 tag line with test. So now we have 2 headings on this page.
Yes. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add in a class.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice any difference there?
No, I don't.
And then another class for the other div. So I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna add in a line of code.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And sorry, it's so big. How's
Okay.
that? Yeah.
It's
So what
cool
do we
both
notice?
ways. Yeah.
It is. So what do we notice there?
I'm seeing a change. I'm seeing so we're seeing the green background for contact page. which has got me thinking a little bit more about what divs are for. I could take a stab at it, but I want to give you. But
Oops.
it's. I'm noticing that there are sort of two subgroups of this div situation. One is class, and one is style. And then class didn't make a noticeable change visually, but style did when you inputted that new color, the green color.
Right. So you notice that style made a notable change for this one up here, but not for this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Is there anything you would like me to try out? I heard you say something earlier about taking a stab at something.
Oh, I guess div is a little refresher for me. Divs, from what I see, are a sort of way to create a category to keep things in, but I kind of want to keep it there because I'm not really sure exactly how else it might be used. I am curious about other ways it could be used, but it's cool to see this green situation happening.
All right.
That gives me the idea that at some point we should do some experiments with divs to show the different ways they behave.
Yeah, we definitely should. Like, you can add in a little bit of text. And I'm trying to stay on brand here, but forgive me. And I can also add in a little bit of text here. Or I can add in the same text here.
What are you noticing?
Yeah.
What are you noticing?
I'm noticing the text coming up. So that paragraph text is coming up under these headings. I'm also noticing that the one on top is bold. All the text is bold, or at least, and then the text on the bottom is standard text. At least the paragraph text is standard text. That's what I can see from here.
So you're saying that all the text in the top one's bold? You think? You believe?
It might look like it, or maybe it's just a contrast with the green.
I could change the color a bit.
Okay, now I'm noticing that it is not bold. The bottom is not bold. That the paragraph text is not bold. Thank you for that. That was helpful.
You're welcome.
And I can also try this out, adding in another tag. Actually, scratch that one. Let's add in something a little bit more obvious. What do you notice there?
Oh. Come on, font change.
I'm sorry, you guys cut out there.
I noticed the font changed. It
Oh.
changed.
Yes, yes. So I noticed there was a font change up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also go ahead and those are just a couple of experiments I thought of off the top of my head, but
Now, look at the line 15. What's similar and different about line 15 and line 10?
Yeah, so I'm noticing those subcategories that I mentioned earlier. There's class and style on line 10, and on line 15, there's class and then font family is the second. So that's the difference between style and font family. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to inspect the second, like if we were to inspect test and P in the browser, what do we notice in the inspection of test, say? If we were just to right click on it and inspect.
Okay.
So like, for instance, if we compare the H1s, the two H1s, what font family is the first H1? What does it say here?
Oh, it does. I'm noticing it now. I'm noticing it now. At the end of 10, there's font family Papyrus.
Uh-huh. And then if we go down to the other one,
it is Lucida handwriting.
What does it say? Like, you look over though on the right here, like if you went back up to the first H1,
Okay.
versus going down to the next H1, do you see a difference as you click on one and the other?
I do. So
yeah, what do you notice?
On the first one, yeah, there's the second one. There's no text in the filters on the right side. On the rules tab, I can notice I'm seeing a line of tabs on the top: rules, layout, computer, and on rules, it's empty. That's different between the two.
Yeah, it's empty. What do folks think? Do we think that the Lucida is getting added to the second H1? Or do we think it's not getting added since we don't see it, whereas we see the H1 in the first one?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I would maybe it isn't being added for some reason.
Yeah, let's look back at the code and see, is there a difference between the two?
There we go.
Between the first div and the second div.
Yeah, so I do notice. Yeah, so I'm noticing on 15, font family, Lucida handwriting is all light blue, so they're different colors, whereas the font family on 10 is brown, a brownish color. So that could be something to do with, that's a difference.
Yeah, right, like one's brown and the other one's blue.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I notice is I see style equals, and then in quotes, background color, RBG, etc., semicolon, font family, Papyrus. On the second one, I don't see a style.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that too.
What happens if we add a style equals there to the second one?
Oh, okay. Now they're matching. And then now the style, the font is applied to the text on the web page.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
yeah, and for folks in the audience, if you're in the audience, feel free to ask any questions or share what you notice. You don't have to be shy. Okay, so what now? Should we start exploring the form a little more?
I did want to stick a little bit more with styling, but
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead and do the styling a little bit. And Owen, how late can you hang around for? Do you want to in a little bit also explore some of the stuff you're going through?
I would love to go through it. Let me think through this
Maybe
for a moment.
let's stick with what we're at. We were going to do more form stuff today, but maybe and if you're in the audience and you want to learn about forms, just let us know. But let's focus on some styling for a bit, and then we can check in with your idea.
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So I've added in a little bit more code. And I'm also going to add in a new file. And we'll see what that does in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you notice about the new file?
It is labeled style.css. So maybe it's in CSS language? I don't know anything about CSS, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you're noticing that it says style.css,
Mhm.
and your current theory is that it's a CSS file.
you dropped out there, Beaei, but
I intentionally did for a second.
okay.
I admit that I snuck out for just a second to eat a little snack.
No problem.
Guilty as charged.
So Owen said that this is a CSS file, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in another line of code.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Any color. Let's go with this one.
Blue violet. Yeah. You know what my favorite one is that I use a lot is hot pink.
Hot pink.
Hot pink. Yeah.
Sounds most amazing.
It is a good color, I have to say. It's iconic.
Pretty in pink.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good pinks in CSS colors. In fact, go ahead, Semii.
Oh no, you keep going.
In fact, there's a really cool website that I'm a huge fan of. I'm just going to share it with you all. It's another Douglas Crockford website. Are you all sick of me talking about Douglas Crockford at this point?
I mean, at this point, it's just a normal thing. But
it's true. It's true. So he made a cool little website that's like a CSS color picker. And so these are all the names of CSS colors.
Ah.
And so I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody. It's just crockford.com/colors.html. I'm going to put it in the comments here. And so when you click a color, it changes the background color. And so you can start exploring all the different kinds of colors, including
I noticed that there was lime and there was linen in there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Like it reminds me of like all the different like colors that you have at like the paint store.
Oh, khaki. Now, what's the
Blonde.
difference between ghost white, floral white, and ivory?
Ghost white, floral white. Do you notice the difference?
No.
What do you notice between
Oh,
ghost white and floral white?
So the one on the, I'm assuming the one on the center is floral white.
Yeah,
It looks a little bit more like, almost like physical paper. It's like a little more yellow.
yeah, it's like yellow greenish.
Yellow greenish.
I
Yeah, and then
cannot see that.
honeydew.
Oh my gosh.
Honeydew
I
is
love,
actually. Oh, go ahead.
it's so interesting how people.
Oh, now I see it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, honeydew is actually hard to tell apart from floral white.
Oh no, I see the honeydew. I just wasn't able to see ivory. That's well. This is a great test to see how people's eyes work.
Yeah, there's actually a really cool book, The Interaction of Color. I'll just show you really quickly, by Joseph Albers. We could actually do exercises from this book in code, in HTML. And what's amazing about the book that's kind of really cool is if you look at this famous iconic image from the book here, this orange is the same color as this orange. But when you look at them together, they look like different colors. But it's actually one strip of paper going down behind these two pieces of paper right here. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
So yeah, this...
Not too much. No.
So like, if you look at like, you see there's the blue and the yellow, right? And there's this orange at the top and there's this orange down here.
Oh, we actually can't see your mouse, but I assume you're talking about interactions of color revision.
Wait,
Sorry.
actually,
I'm seeing, yeah.
There we go.
I saw that one pop.
Yeah, okay. No, sorry. It actually took me to another page and I didn't realize it. Oh, it's doing that, darn. Yeah, let me just zoom in then. So yeah, if you look at this, right, this green right here, or this orange right here, and this orange right here, do they look the same or different?
The orange on the bottom looks darker. The orange on top looks lighter.
So as it turns,
I think they look the same.
So you're both right. It's the same piece of paper behind the blue and the yellow, but because this one's in the context of orange, it appears darker. Because this one's in the context of the blue, it appears brighter.
That's the dress thing again.
Yeah, that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Memories of being on the bus and having arguments about that damn dress.
Heated arguments, but
yeah, so
I'm always here for color theory.
Yeah, well, it's especially great if you can do it in code too.
I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to try to represent something in code. Okay, so what's next? What do we want to do next?
So yeah, we've changed our colors around. Actually want to make it lime and not linen, but unless anybody's complaining about the colors hurting their eyes.
No.
So coming over here, I'm actually going to grab this. What do you notice here?
On the right side?
Yes, on the right side. Sorry.
So I'm seeing heading div. So as like a, and then color, and then I'm seeing linen. So it looks like you have the heading as a the color linen.
Right. And you notice all the text in the form.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So are each of these forms? Each box?
No, these are not forms yet.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna go with a blue for this one.
Do we want to explore some padding and margin and some of the spacing of these things?
Yes. So I can come over here and I'm going to change the background color. And then what do you notice there?
I noticed that test is right up against the dark green edge.
Tested against the dark green edge.
Yeah.
Oh, padding.
Mm.
And if I add in the padding, what do you notice happening there?
So there's a margin now. The margin between the edge and the in the text. So there's just space between them, which it makes it look a little more aesthetically pleasing.
All right. All right, so we've explored a bit of padding and we've explored a bit of color and other types of styling in CSS. Do you have any questions? Or does anybody in the audience have any questions so far?
Yeah, any puzzles or anything too?
I didn't know about padding though. That's that's a useful tool.
Yeah, that's one of the major tools of the trade in design. I'm wondering now, just before we go, maybe let's explore a little bit just for a moment some of the stuff that we've been talking about, Owen. We don't have to get deep into it, you know?
Of course.
But let's just start talking about it. And what we're going to come back in 2 weeks, right, for the next stream. And so in 2 weeks, we're going to actually explore this with some depth and keep going on this theme of forms, styling forms, JavaScript forms. We want to keep going through that theme. So, yeah, Owen, tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to do with forms and how you might use those.
I would love to. Okay, so it started out with a simple question. I could share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me go figure out how to do that. Present. Here we go. Share screen. Okay. Okay, you seeing GitHub or sorry, my
Yes.
code? Gorgeous. Okay. So here I really started with a simple question of how do I make a simple calculator that where when I finish my day of work, I can just put a number in and I can separate out, oh, this is the money that I need to set aside for my work expenses and all my needs for my actual work, so that I don't spend any of that money on any of my personal needs or wants. And I'm not gonna. So I really know where to funnel, because like if I'm working hard for this money, right? Especially like I want to make sure that it's going in the right place, especially in contexts where you're working and you're not making necessary like, and you're sort of it, especially if you're sort of like run your own business, or you're like working like contract work, which rideshare is, which is what I do. Like you have to make sure to be on top of your books. You have to make sure to be on top of everything. So I wanted, so in that context, I wanted to make a simple tool that helped folks, like I said, get in a habit of, get in a routine of figuring out how to separate those that income streams, those income streams, those income streams. So what's my vision with this? I think that I'm excited by the idea of just making something that will help other people, plain and simple. And so I started with an HTML sort of boilerplate, right? And now I've got more. I've been working with. I honestly, my biggest challenge has been seeing all of this information out here, and trying to just sort through it and see what does everything mean. Like, because sometimes I'll work on something one day, then the next day I'll look back and be like, oh, I don't even remember what I was working on.
Yeah, so I heard you say that your biggest challenge is just sorting through everything.
Yeah. Yes.
And so if that's the case, then maybe what we could do, and we don't have to do this tonight, but for next time, what we could do is try to reverse engineer this a little bit. And what we can do is take it build it one step at a time, again, so you can kind of make a connection of how the parts fit together.
I think that would be wonderful. That would be a very helpful exercise.
Yeah, so, okay, great. Yeah, well, then for next time, let's work on that. Are there any thoughts do you have any other thoughts or questions or challenges that you're exploring?
Everything has to do with labeling different code, and making sure that I and anybody else who's looking at this has a clear understanding of what the purpose of going back to that common theme of making sure everything here has a purpose, making sure I don't have any like unnecessary fluff, so that when I want to like include some, like when it's ready to include some design elements and some things that can make it a little bit more captivating, we can really center on what its service is, and then move on to how do we make this engaging for folks.
Yeah, okay, well, that gives us a lot to work with, I think, and that gives us a lot to explore for next time. Anything else?
No, not from my end.
Feel free in the audience, if there's stuff you learned tonight, to share in the chat, and we'll read it right now. But if that doesn't come, Well, then, thank you so much for coming out tonight. This was really great. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Semii. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Thanks for facilitating, Semii. Anything else?
Thank you, Beaei.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm really glad to be here with both of you.
Thank you for tonight, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Don't forget, tomorrow, the Human Rights Literacy Group.
Oh, we're losing you a bit. If you can just repeat what you were just saying.
Yeah, on Thursday, there's going to be a Human Rights Literacy Group, and then we're going to have on Friday. Not on Friday. On Sunday, we'll have another Human Rights Literacy Group, not as a stream, but just as a Zoom session that you can drop it at 9:30 in the morning Central.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Thursday we'll have the other code lab. Did I get that all clear?
I think on Wednesday is the human rights.
Yeah, Wednesday is the human rights stream, and then Sunday is the human rights lab.
So we got the human rights stream on Wednesday. We got the code
PM.
lab on Thursday at 7 p.m. as well.
Yes.
And then Sunday.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody. This has been wonderful. And we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.